This show is brought to you by United Healthcare because we believe in the power of volunteering. Welcome to Project Volunteer. I am so excited about today's show. I'm Teresa Rowe, and my co-host is Randy Lanham. And today is an amazing show. It's all about families, isn't it, Randy? Anyway, it is all about families. First up is Randy with his family at Crossroads. So take a look.
Have you ever wondered what nonprofit organizations do, or about all their different volunteering opportunities?
Or what about hearing testimonies from the recipients of their care?
Join us on our journey as we walk in the shoes of a volunteer for a day and find out about some amazing organizations that are literally changing the world.
And along the way, meet some true surprising heroes making a difference in the lives of others as we feature another Project Volunteer.
All right, everyone. So the table in front of you has everything on it that you need to make your bags. If you see the white sheet in front of you, that lists exactly what you need. So you'll start by just simply taking one of your empty plastic bags, grabbing the items from them in front of you. Pay attention to the number of items. Some of them you'll have 2 instead of 1. Make the bag, tie it up, and toss it in the respective bin behind you. You'll run out of your product pretty quickly, you'll find. And you'll find right behind you in general is where the rest of your product is. So once you run through your boxes, you can break those boxes down, find a good place to store them for now, and we'll throw them outside later, maybe underneath your table or behind you if you can fit it. And you'll fill the bins until they're completely full, or if you run out of product first, you can stop then. So if you want to grab a bag, we can go ahead and get after it.
Caleb, thank you so much for having us down here at Crossroads today. Tell us a little bit about Crossroads Food Pantry.
Well, thanks for coming down, and just to tell us a little bit about us, we serve about 2,600 people a month here at our food pantry. Yeah, it's a lot of people. So we have about a couple hundred cars that come through each week. So we fill these bins full of food in preparation for that. And then each week on Tuesday, folks come by and pick up the food that they need right out here outside of our back door.
So it's kind of like a drive-through service.
It's kind of a drive-through service, yep. Yeah. So they come up, we give them the appropriate food based on, when they've come here and how often they've been here, and send them on their way. And like I said, about 2,600 to 2,700 each month, a couple hundred cars a week.
Y'all keep records of all of that, so you know who's come through and
Yep.
who's gotten what and all of that. That's great. Man, it must feel really, really good to help so many people.
Yeah, it's, when you live in a community like Owensboro, you don't always see this on the, when you're out and about necessarily, but each community, even a community like Owensboro, has some significant needs and where you can really help. So it feels good to try to help those people out.
Well, what a great thing you're able to do to be able to help those folks out, man. That's awesome. So tell us about the different volunteer opportunities. I know today we're here filling food bags, right? So you was explaining a little bit earlier how each bin that you have here is kind of a different amount of food or different kinds of food. Tell me about that.
Yeah, we try to make each bin kind of a logical combination of food items, so you can make a meal out of it theoretically. Yeah. So right now, we got some people making bags of chili, for example, bags of spaghetti, bags to make like mac and cheese, or different vegetable and fruit bags, things like that. So we try to kind of combine those to give them a logical plan for a few different meals, breakfast items like cereal and things like that as well. Yeah. And then, we get them, each gets a combination of those bags in their bin for that week.
So obviously, stuffing food bags is one thing. What are some other volunteer opportunities that somebody could do in a food pantry like this?
Yeah, well, we have delivery trucks that come each month, for example. So several times throughout the month, different delivery trucks will arrive here. Obviously, when those trucks come, we need some massive help unloading them.
That's a lot of food,
exactly.
Right? In one of those big old semi-trucks?
Yeah, so they'll come in, they'll drop off these pallets of food. They'll be stacked to the ceiling.
Wow.
4 or 5 pallets. We'll unload them out in the garage. We'll load them wherever we can in here. But we do need some major help on those days.
Right.
As that's obviously some pretty hefty labor. So.
Do you have any inspirational story you can share with us?
Sure. I mean, it changes every week, and I think there's some inspiration that you can find each week. For me personally, I found, several people here are war veterans that come through this food pantry, several even African American war veterans. So you have someone that fought in a war for this country that maybe hasn't been treated fairly by this country for the last 100 years, and now they need help even just getting basic food. So it can be a little almost heartbreaking, but that's kind of what fuels me to come back each week, because I know that we're making a significant difference in their life. We're showing that someone still does care about them and wants to help them out. So we have people like that. We've had people that have come through and pulled our director aside in tears because they didn't know how they were going to feed that family, their family that week, and we provided that food for them. So there's inspiration all over the place. There's people that need a lot of help here, and we're just happy to provide a little bit of that for them.
What a great feeling it is to be able to do that. I can't even imagine delivering those boxes every week and seeing the looks on their faces just of appreciation and love for Crossroads or food pantries, wherever they're at, wherever they're watching this show. I just encourage people, wouldn't you encourage people to go and get involved and volunteer in their community? Go to a food pantry. It's a lot of fun, as you can see behind us, right?
Absolutely. It's been life-changing for me over the last year. You know, I kind of felt like I was one before to talk about it, and it's easy to talk about the problems and complain and say we need someone to help, we need someone to fix this. But to get out and actually take action, it feels good, and you are doing something then. So I encourage people to kind of walk the walk, if you will, and come out and help. And it can be here or it can be wherever you're living. Every city has people that need food and need help. I guarantee it. Every city, any place you're living, there's someone that needs some help, and you can help them out there. So I encourage it.
Okay.
All right, so what we got going on here, girls?
Put 1 peaches.
One peaches.
And then spaghetti.
Noodles.
Spaghetti.
Need one of these?
2 of those.
2. All right, 1, 2, and
1 bean.
1 bean?
2 of those, Annie.
Two beans.
2 beans.
Okay, 2 beans. It says it on the list there. Okay. And now what?
I'll
We
bag
tie
it
it
up.
up, right?
Yep.
All right.
Tie it up and
So-
we'll start some more.
So Charla, your family, my favorite sister, by the way. I just want you to know that. My only sister, but my favorite sister. So why do you think it's important to come down here and volunteer? It's been a really cool day today for us to all come down here and volunteer as a family. Why is
Yes.
that important?
Well, for one, we get to spend time with family and also helping people in need. And then just be down here with my girls and showing them how it's a good thing to give back when you can. So, and hopefully they'll continue to give back.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I believe it's the best way to teach your kids to volunteer is to do it together, right, as a family.
Oh, sure. Sure, be a good role model and hopefully they'll continue to do it and maybe get others to start coming with them and seeing how we all work together to help others.
So Annie, what do you think? He said, Mr. Caleb said earlier, we're helping feed thousands of people. How cool is that?
It's really fun because I get to have a fun time with my family and help people in need.
Yeah, you're right. It don't get any better than that, right?
Makes you feel
Having
good.
fun.
Makes you feel good in your heart.
That's right. Having
make you feel
fun
good?
Yeah.
with your family and helping people in need. It don't get any easier, don't get any better, right?
Yep.
All right, let's continue stuffing some bags. I've done lost count. I ain't been paying attention. What'd I do wrong?
One of these.
Thank you. I sure hope you enjoyed that last segment. Next up, we
It's
have...
the blessing box. Don't you love it when people put out boxes and you can just come and put products in it? The Klein family is a lovely family. They work together with their children, and in front they've got a big blessing box, and I love this segment. You were not involved with it, but I just love it. You were behind the scenes, so let's take a look. Tell us about your community box. I mean, it is so awesome that you have something right here in your own yard where people can stop and get what they need. We see right here on your porch where people drop things off. They just bring it up and put it on your porch, and then you put it out there, or how does that work?
It's really, the box it fits really perfectly with a lot of the other things that Rebecca mentioned. Because, like even with the Vacation Bible School, how that's held here in our side yard, it really gets the community involved too. So people who donate come, it's not just from within our church, although our church is, we couldn't do what we do without the help of Heritage Baptist Church. But there's so many involved in the community, people who don't even go to church in some cases, and they help to supply with food and all kinds of items that that make these things possible, whether it's the block parties or the community box. We will see on a lot of times the weekends, families will come. They'll get their children involved as well, and that's one of the ways we've promoted it. Get your families, get your kids involved, let them be a part of something outside of themselves. And so we'll see a minivan show up, people we don't know, and sometimes people we know as well, and they have their kids stock the box, and then they just drive off, not looking for, you know, they don't even make contact with us. We have to go out a lot of times and just thank them for their contribution.
Right. So do you have an inspirational story you want to share about how the box has impacted someone that you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of stories that just kind of, they're very similar, and just there's so many over time. But within the past several months, there was one time where I was doing a little work in our front yard, and a gentleman came to the box, and I noticed he was looking for some items, and I asked him if there was anything else that maybe I could help him with, or that was not in the box that he was looking for. And he said no, that there wasn't, but he thanked me for having the box here in our community, in our neighborhood, and he began to weep. He just cried because it meant so much to him that he knew that he could come here and that there was always going to be items in that box that if he needed.
Well, I'm ready to put some things in the box.
Can
we do that?
Thank you so much.
Absolutely, and your family, your beautiful children are going to help us as well, right?
Do it.
They'll be happy to.
Okay. All right.
All right. You guys want to go?
All right, Rebecca. I love the box.
Thank you.
So I've got some donations.
Great.
So do you want me to unlatch it here?
Yeah, let's just go ahead and fill the box with these. This is such a precious commodity during the cold weather, to have something warm, coats and blankets and gloves and socks are such a blessing in the cold weather.
Okay, we've got some hats. We just put those there. And people can just stop by any time and just drop things off,
And
right? To
just
donate.
go right ahead and fill it up.
Got some Irish Spring. My husband loves that soap.
Personal hygiene items are much needed.
Yeah.
Toothbrushes. So just like that?
Yes, thank
Okay.
you so much.
Hey, well, thank you guys. I really appreciate what you do, and this will definitely inspire other people to do this in their community. I mean, I'm inspired just being here to see what you guys do and how you can just come and drop things off. We all can help each other out.
Yes.
But thank you both so much, and thank you guys.
Thanks, Teresa.
You're welcome.
Up next, we have Dream Riders of Kentucky.
Hold on. I want to tell them all about Dream Riders of Kentucky. I know you were the volunteer, but so was I. And I love the children that we work with and the volunteers and the horses. Oh my gosh, they are so beautiful. So who did you work with?
Yeah, so it was a mom and dad, and they volunteer at Dream Riders with their child.
Absolutely. So let's take a look.
All right, so thank you all so much for coming out. I understand that you're both volunteers, and then you have your son Caden here with you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, tell us about how you got started volunteering and how Caden got started coming here to Dream Riders.
Okay. Yeah, so Caden, he started riding here at Dream Riders at the age of 4, and as parents, you know, we were looking for a way to get involved. We watched him ride, and we wanted to get out here and see what we could do and be a part of it. And so since then, we've been sidewalkers with Caden, and it's a family affair for us. Myself and my wife, Hannah, we like to get out here and walk, and our parents and grandparents, parents and grandparents like to watch Caden as well. So it's a family affair, and you know, we're just really happy to be a part of it and get to share that with him.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep.
So tell me what you all do as sidewalkers. Do y'all want to take a stroll?
Sure.
Is that what you call it, a stroll?
Caden is minimally verbal, so he says a few words, but we use his talker. This is what Caden communicates with us.
Okay.
So the first thing that we do as sidewalkers is we make sure that his feet are in his stirrups. We make him grab onto his reins, which is something that we work on a lot because he likes to drop them. So as we're walking, we're constantly telling him to pick up his reins.
Give me a high five. Okay.
And then he tells Katie to go. Tell her to go. Come on, say go. Walk. Get your reins.
Get your reins.
So then we tell Caden to get his reins, and then Katie goes.
All right.
Let's go.
So
And as sidewalkers with any child, but Caden can get kind of whiny, so we try to do things like I'll sing to him sometimes to keep him happy. We talk. We count the horses as we go. We do an ankle hold. So if you look at Eric in my hand, we're holding him by the ankle.
Yeah, I can see
And
that.
Sandy leads us on where she wants us to do that. But Caden now, he started out in a saddle that really had him kind of enclosed, and now he's more in an open saddle because his strength has gotten so much better.
Well, how fulfilling is it, first of all, to have one of your children be able to take advantage of this great program, and then second of all, to be volunteers to help the community with this?
Well, for us, it's been pretty special, and for Caden to have something that's his and something that he really enjoys, that's his own thing. You know, he has siblings that get to play baseball and things, and they look at Caden, and one thing that one of my younger boys had said is, one day when I get bigger, I want to ride a horse like Caden. So,
yeah.
I mean, that alone, it's just pretty special that he gets to do that, and they look up to him for doing that. And so it's pretty special.
That's awesome.
Hold your reins.
Well, thanks for your great story. I appreciate y'all's hearts to serve at Dream Riders and be volunteers, and it's so cool to be able to hang out with your son.
Yeah.
And ain't this a great organization?
It
What
is
would you like to say to Dream Riders for providing this kind of therapy for our local community?
We're just thankful for the entire community for embracing Dream Riders, and the volunteers. I mean, they put tons and tons of hours into making this place a place that we can come that's well maintained. The horses get excellent treatment, and you know, it's really just like a family type atmosphere, and everyone works together to make it happen. So it's a pretty special place for us.
What do you think, Mom?
thankful.
What do you have to say to Dream Riders?
Dream Riders is probably one of our most favorite things that we get to do with Caden.
Yeah.
So we are so thankful that this is a place that we can come to, and it's only about 5 miles from our house, probably. So.
That's kind of convenient.
That makes it
ain't
nice too.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you all both so much for sharing your story with us today.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Coming up next, I absolutely loved working with a mother and her daughters at the Room at the Inn. And they're working with the local homeless population. They're giving them a bed for the night. They had blankets, a fresh pillow, and we were putting socks on the bed. It was just an amazing time. I loved, I mean, just the camaraderie in the room. And then they had a little table with snacks on it where they could feed them and give them juice. And so I can't wait for you to see this.
I was
so
there.
But let's take a look at this. Lori, tell me about this awesome ministry that you and your husband and your girls are doing.
Okay, so Room in the Inn is a nationwide program that hosts the homeless over the colder months of the year, which is December, January, and February in this area. And each night a church in our community hosts the homeless. We basically give them a roof over their head, a dry place, a warm place, pillow, blanket, you know, for the evening during the colder months, just to get them out of the cold.
How long have you been doing this?
Me and my family, these are my girls, and we're missing 2 of them actually right now, 3 of them, 4 of them. Anyway, my girls and I, my husband, have been doing this for about 3 or 4 years now. Yeah.
So tell me about these socks.
These socks are donated by Bombas Footwear. Every time they sell a pair, they donate a pair to a homeless shelter, and our church is blessed enough to be a recipient of these. So when our guests show up on their beds, they have a nice pillow, a nice blanket, and a brand new pair of socks every time they come here. So
I would love that.
Yeah, me too.
All right, now tell me why you do what you do.
We do what we do because people have to be the hands and feet of Jesus. That's all there is to it. It's not for our glory or anything by any stretch of the imagination why we do this. It's to glorify God, to know that these people are, every one of them is a child of God, just like we are. So they need to be treated the same. It's on our heart to do this. It takes a lot of people to run Room in the Inn. Like, we have so many volunteers from our church. There's 4 of them tonight spending the night with them. So it takes a lot to do it, but it is so well worth it.
You're right, and we are the hands and feet of Jesus.
Absolutely, we have to be.
Can I help you out?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Let's
what
go.
are we going to do?
Just each one of them have to have a pair of socks put on their bed.
Okay.
So when they get here,
all right,
they get a nice warm pair of socks. Oh, I'm running out of, I'm already running out. The girls are getting before me. So that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, did they take your socks, Sugar, over there? Okay. So.
Is this bed right there?
Yeah, I think she's already got some.
Okay.
And then those are volunteer beds.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, thank you, Lori.
You're welcome. I appreciate you guys doing what you're doing. I hope the word gets out. I really do, because
I think it will. I think you'll inspire people to do what you're doing. I really do.
Coming up next, I had the great opportunity, Teresa, to work with a family, mom and dad serving supper and the kids cleaning the tray.
Isn't that awesome how the families come together to help and volunteer? I mean, I think it's so wonderful. I mean, they serve, they want to help people, and they get blessed at the same time, Randy. I mean, think about the blessings that they get and so much favor, you know?
Yes.
And I love the fact that you do volunteer and you do work once in a while. I mean, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, so here it is now.
Yeah.
Kayla, thank you so much for being willing to come on camera. And your husband, what's your name, sir?
Robert.
Robert, good to see you all. So why is it so important for you all to come down here and volunteer as a family? Because you have your kids here as well, right?
Oh, yes. Well, we think it's important to give back to our community, teach our kids, you know, to give back.
Right. And what? Tell us about your kids. Who you have here?
So we have Joshua.
Joshua around here somewhere? Yeah.
Over there
Joshua?
we have Haley and we have Kyle.
Man, that is so cool that y'all coming out volunteering as a family. I love it. So what words of inspiration could you give somebody around watching in their community that maybe want to come down and serve at a soup kitchen like this?
I guess for myself, it's just, it doesn't matter how old you are, your size, or anything like that. Everybody can contribute something back to their community. And you don't know whether it's just that smile or being present and what that can do for somebody else.
Absolutely. Well, thank you both for your servant hearts. So let's load up a few plates. What do you say?
Yeah.
All right. All right. So I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to pass it on to you, I guess, right? You load that up. All right. So it's a good little assembly line we got going here. Man, thank you again so much, both of you all, for your service, for your willingness to serve. And I think it's so important that you all are bringing your kids down here to be a part of this. I volunteer, my wife and my kids, we volunteer together back in Owensboro, Kentucky, where we're from. And I tell you what, I have found personally there's nothing better to teach my kids. Instead of just telling them about it, it's bringing them with us and letting them see real volunteering and serving those in need. I love it. And I love it that y'all are setting such a great example for your kids. Thank you very much, both of you, for your service. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
How cool is it to volunteer as a family together? What do you think?
I think it's good because you can help other people in many ways that, like, you can just help, and they're so grateful about it. Like, I love it.
Absolutely. So of course, what we're doing now, they're serving food right now, but when the folks get done with their plates, they're going to bring their plates here. We're going to empty it up, take the cups here, and pour the fluids in here, throw the trash away here, right?
Yes.
So we'll wait for some of them to bring it in here in a little bit, but you know, it's kind of cool that a young person like yourself is volunteering, I think, right?
Yeah.
Like, what would you say to other youth? Maybe somebody's watching this show and they're about your age and they're saying, you know what, I might be interested in volunteering, but I don't know about that volunteering stuff. What would you say to them?
I would say go for it because you could help so many people in different ways. Like, it's just a great thing to do for other people. You can help them. Like, they'll enjoy it a lot.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love that. I love that so much. You and your family volunteering together. And thank you, little sister, for coming along too. Do you like volunteering? It's fun to help people, right? All right, so we are just about ready, right?
Yeah.
So as soon as they bring us a plate, we're gonna get to do something, right?
Yes.
All right, so we're just gonna wait patiently, right?
Yeah.
I'm not very patient.
Me neither.
Hey, what are we gonna do? Can we thumb wrestle while we're waiting? 1, 2, 3, 4, I declare a thumb war. Go. Hey, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Did you see that? She beat me. What about you? 1, 2, 3, 4, I declare a thumb war. Go. Don't you beat me too. 1, 2, 3. Both of you. Both of you beat me right off the bat. Wow. All right. So we'll wait.
We'll wait.
We'll wait patiently. And we'll smile.
Oh,
Now smile.
Anyone?
Nope, nobody yet.
It's gonna take a while.
It's gonna take a while?
I mean,
You think so?
I think so.
Well, maybe they'll get done with their plates before long. Maybe somebody brings something along. You think?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see. Thank you, sir. Good job. Yay! Here's some more. Thank you. You're doing a good job. You don't even need me, do you? I'm just getting in your way, slowing you down. What about you? Y'all don't even need me in the way. Hey, girls, I want to thank you both very much for letting me hang out with you and do some volunteering, okay? It was fun. It was very nice to meet you all, too, okay? Thank you. Oh, here comes another one. Thank you, sir. All right. We appreciate you so much for watching
We really do.
Project
We appreciate you watching.
Volunteer.
We appreciate what you're doing out there. And I know you had to be inspired today by
Yes.
today's show. I mean, families coming together to volunteer.
Absolutely.
How awesome is that? I mean, you and your family volunteer.
Yes, yeah.
You know, and I know that I need to bring my family in on this, but we do. We do volunteer as well.
I know
but
you do.
You will be inspired and motivated by this show. So thank you for watching.
If you have an idea for our show, a story of inspiration, or would like to nominate a volunteer hero,
Get in on the conversation on our Facebook page or go to projectvolunteer.org. This show is brought to you by United Healthcare because we believe in the power of volunteering.